Welcome to the Wealth Mindset with JD Garnier. Listen, do you realize that we have 8 billion different worlds existing at the same time? 8 billion people on this world, and everybody's living in their own world. Everybody has their own vantage point, their opinion. You can have two people that live in the same house, have the same view, eat the same food, essentially live the same life, and they have two completely different points of view. Your perspective, your mindset. One of the hardest things to change is the way that you think. Because changing the way that you think forces you to question yourself. It requires you to challenge your programming. It makes you be honest with yourself. Unfortunately, most of us are in this world lying to ourselves. We're telling ourselves one thing, but refusing to face the real reality. I don't think people understand what's happening. We are so caught up in our daily lives. We're so caught up in our day to day drama. We're so consumed in the priorities that give us comfort and give us pleasure that we don't know what's going on. The world is changing in front of our eyes. And if you're not prepared, it's going to get ugly. If you are not preparing yourself for the things that are being planned that we have no control over, it's going to get ugly. You need to be preparing yourself mentally, physically, financially, and the ultimate goal, as I talk about all the time on the wealth mindset, is economic independence. Nothing else matters if you're economically independent. If you can take care of yourself, if you can live on what you have, if you can live on your wealth and you do not need anybody for anything, none of this other stuff matters. But unfortunately, as a community, we control less than 4% of the wealth. Our average net worth is 7 to 10 times less that of other families and other groups of people. 85% of our businesses fail within the first 18 months. We have $1.8 trillion in spending power, and yet less than 4% of Black African Americans own stocks. And so while I believe we have an opportunity, I've been saying it for the past 5 years. I think we're in the midst of a Black wealth renaissance. I think we have more opportunity to gain wealth, to honestly, man, just to achieve everything that we want. There's no barriers that are holding us back right now. There's nothing that's keeping the information from you. There's nothing that's keeping you from applying the information. The only thing that's in our way are the distractions that they keep giving us on social media, on pop culture. And when I turn on social media, man, and it's like, what are we talking about? The world is changing right in front of our eyes, and we having arguments about the most ridiculous stuff. We divided over the most ridiculous things. And it's almost to the point where we only a community in name only because we have cornered ourselves into these little pockets of subcultures. And if somebody don't believe the way I believe in this manner, if somebody don't think the way I think here, or agree with me here, or stand for these particular rights, then they didn't. Then they're not in my circle. And so the ending result is there is no unity. There is no collective effort. And I thought about this recently. Who is representing our community? Who is the voice of our community that is speaking on our behalf? Not on the behalf of a small group that fit this narrative or a small group of people that fit this particular genre, but who is speaking for us collectively about the viability of the Black community, about the economic independence of the Black community. All of these things that are going on, and right now nobody's even advocating for us. The people that in power are completely disregarding the things that we need. And so it's time for you to prepare yourself. It's time for us to prepare ourselves because nobody's coming. Nobody's coming. The person that hurt you can't heal you. Regardless of who's responsible for your hurt, for your pain, for your disappointment, for your discomfort, for your betrayal, regardless of whose fault it is, the person that hurt you can't heal you. The person that hurt you is not in a position to heal your pain, to change your circumstances, to improve your life. You got to do that on your own. As a community, we got to do it on our own. Their money is not going to fix our problem because our problems are here. Our problems are here. No amount of money is going to change your heart and your mind. The only way to change that is to attack the roots. Start with forgiveness. Start with identifying and understanding who you are. Start with becoming a value to yourself, a value to your family, a value to your own community. And then it spreads and it branches like that. Change begins from within. Nothing they do at the top is ever going to change our circumstances. It starts at the bottom. It starts in the home. It starts with one conversation. Change begins from within. Now, economically, the priorities are simple. We need to be protecting what we already have, and we need to be focused on accumulating things of value. Period. We need to be buying assets. We do not need to be spending our money on frivolous things. An article came out recently that said that 40% of people living that make over $300,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. That should tell you that it's not just about the money. That riches and wealth are two different things. That income and assets do not equate to one another. Because $300,000 a year is $25,000 a month. And if you're making that and you still living paycheck to paycheck and not putting things away for the future, then it's not just about the money. It's about the mindset. It's about how you think. We need to be buying things of value with our money. We need to be insulating ourselves. We need to be developing skills, not just in ourselves, but in our children. The education system is 2 decades behind where the world is. They're teaching our children things that are going to be completely irrelevant in the next 5 years. And so if you don't take it upon yourself to educate your children, to put your children in a position that they can excel and they have some advantage, then it's going to be on you. Because our children right now are already struggling. Our children right now are already being left behind. And so if you are not forward thinking on how to prepare them for the future, it's going to be over. It's going to be over. And to me, that means that number one, all our children should have a skill. I have 4 boys. My goal is for all of my sons to have a skill. In addition to whatever they pursue academically, in addition to whatever degree they want to get or whatever path they want to have, they're going to be able to do something with their hands. I don't care what it is. You can learn how to do electrician work, plumbing work, landscaping. You're going to have to know how to do something with your hands. Period. Also, all of my children are going to know how to speak a foreign language. The world is too small. Now you can do business globally. Now you can communicate with people on the other side of the earth at the snap of a finger. And so, why not give them the advantage of being able to communicate with people in a second language? That's not on the school system, that's on me. Also, my children know how to develop their bodies physically. All of my sons work out. We work out together. We run hills, we do push ups, we lift weights. They're going to understand how important it is, not just from a physicality perspective, but from a health perspective. I've been working out for 25 years straight. I'm as healthy as I've ever been, I'm as strong as I've ever been. I was thinking about this the other day. I have not gone in 25 years, I can't think of any period more than 3 or 4 times that I've gone longer than 7 days without working out. And normally that's 4 or 5 times a week. I can't think of 3 weeks in 25 years that I've gone longer than 7 days without working out. It's natural to me now. It's a way of life. I'm as healthy as I've ever been at 45 years old and as strong as I've ever been. So that is a testament to the consistency of developing your body. I can still bench 250 pounds. I can still squat 300 pounds. But that's important because it gives me the energy I need to pursue my goals, to pursue my passions, to pursue the things that I care about. It gives me the strength and endurance to be able to also manage my time and spend time with my children. It gives me the energy that I need to go out and network and meet people and develop relationships. So you need to be preparing yourself. If you're not developing your body physically, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's going to pay off. Listen, if you are a young man and you want to ensure that, and I don't want to say ensure because anything can happen, but you want to put yourself in the best position possible to thrive when you in your 40s and your 50s. Develop a consistent workout plan. Make it a way of of life. It's not a chore for me. It's a necessity. I can't even function straight if I go too many days without working out because it gives me not what I need, not just physically, but mentally. And so, these are the things that we need to be thinking about to prepare ourselves for the future. We don't know what's going to happen, right? We don't know the impact of artificial intelligence and what it's going to do to the job market. 20 years ago, when we went into a recession and they cut 100,000 jobs, in a couple of years, those jobs came back. Today, those jobs not coming back. Today, computers are taking those jobs. And so if you don't have a tangible skill, some value that you can add, things are going to be difficult. You're going to have a rude awakening. And I'm just hoping that you are thinking about and preparing yourself for what is coming. Capitalism has taken over everything that we think about. We're not citizens, we are consumers. We are statistics. We are databases. We are notches in the algorithm that shift and turn to either get our attention or get our resources. And so if you don't take a bird's eye view of that and understand that you got to have a plan to come up out of all of this, that you have to have a plan to be able to remove yourself from this perpetual race to mediocrity, then it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for my people. I'm trying my best to tell people, to warn people, to empower, to educate, because things are happening and they're not going to make an announcement. They're not going to make an announcement. They're not going to tell you when it's coming. It's just going to be there. And if you're not preparing yourself in multiple ways, life is going to get difficult. And so change the way you think, change your perspective, forgive your past so that you can move forward and think forward about what's necessary for your life. And know your purpose. Your purpose is going to guide you when you don't know which way to go. Your purpose is going to give you comfort when everything else has failed, because you're going to know that it's for a reason, because it's for your purpose. Your purpose is going to give you motivation even when you don't feel like doing it, because you are living, walking, and aligning yourself with your original instruction. But you got to build on it. You have to develop it, and you have to make it something that is going to feed you and your family forever. I hope y'all ready, man. Wealth mindset.